The Hunger Games is not just a YA dystopian book trilogy. It's also a movie, and I'm gonna rewatch it today.
My friend nostalgia, I found you when I heard the sweet sound of the ones who I once knew so well.
I'm like way too excited about this. I haven't had like a solo movie night in I don't even know how long. And oh my gosh, I keep forgetting Shadow and Bone is out. I'm just too excited.
About some nonsense. Oh, how I miss those friends. Circumstances made it so that I'll never see their faces, except for on the internet, where I'll never really know what's going on behind their smiles. I mean, I guess I could.
Okay, so it's a little past midnight. Rue just died. There's so much of this that I don't remember, and I have not felt this ecstatic watching a movie and like reliving things that I like vividly remember reading this book and watching the movie, but like having it all come back to you all at once. Oh my god, I'm gonna get a little bit of ice cream and then I'm gonna finish this. I've got about 30 minutes left. Oh my gosh, the way that they portray violence, the way that they show that these are children and put you in the point of view, the perspective of the tribute. I'm sorry, I just can't with how well these are adapted. And I remember leaving this movie and being like, we never saw President Snow or anyone else's perspective in the books, but you do in the movies. And I remember thinking how brilliant that was, because that made you understand the perspective of like, these games are about control and they're about like giving people something to hope for, but not too much to where things get overdone. And oh my gosh, and then the sponsor thing completely left my memory. Like, I mean, now it's coming back, but like it jogged it, but I had not really remembered that that was like a huge part. And then to see Haymitch having to go and basically like be like their agent and like root for them and pitch for them with all these capitalized, because at first I was like, tomorrow I have a screening, and I was like, no way I'm gonna come home from the screening and watch this. But I'm like, I want to watch Catching Fire so bad. Like, if I didn't have work tomorrow, I would stay up and watch it all through the night. Just oh my gosh.
Hi friends, should I be watching another movie? Should I be starting a movie at 10:30 on a Monday night? The answer is no. But am I gonna start a movie at 10:30 on a Monday night? Hell yes we are. I'm thinking about Hunger Games again all day today. I just went and saw Air. We're gonna do a little bit of a recap, quickly detail the first Hunger Games. I think the major things that I forgot about was like the in-depth nature of the games, like the sponsors, having a mentor, trying to learn it, the fact that the rules change during the games, all of that kind of forgot from my memory. Of course, remembered Rue, I remembered Peeta in the cave scene, although, guys, why is Peeta like, why has he stolen my heart? He has captured it.
You have bewitched me, body and soul.
And I love him so dearly, like, the way that he immediately starts playing the game, getting the people in the Capitol to like him, playing up the love story thing. And ultimately, it's all because he knows he's not going to kill the woman he loves. So he's never going to win, period. The other thing that I just want to say, and I remember vividly thinking this at the time, seeing the perspective of the announcers of the games and or President Snow's kind of reaction to the events as they're happening is the most brilliant addition to the film series. Specifically this first one. So I'm going to turn on the second movie.
But he's the capital darling. They love him here.
Peak relaxation. Hi friends, so we're back. I am trying to skip ahead to where I was. I had about an hour of the movie left, which might be perfect timing because this will end at 9:30, which means I could squeeze a Mockingjay part 2, which means tomorrow I could watch. What am I saying? In the books, Cinna dies, okay? My favorite character dies. But that's right before we get to spend a bunch of time with my new favorite character, Fennec. Those are my guys, okay? Those are my two guys.
Never really know what's going on. check in once in a while. But those friends are growing up, and there's no time for us to pretend we'd stay in touch. 'Cause everybody knows it will never be the same. We move on and
How are these movies so good? Okay, listen, I will never have experienced these movies as someone who didn't read the book. So if you happen to be someone who has never read the Hunger Games books, please let me know your experience of these movies, because obviously for me, as I've discussed in this video thus far, there's a huge amount of nostalgia for these movies for me. There is a massive, like, things will come back to me as they are happening, and then I'll remember where I was when I read certain lines. I don't know. This video has been so much more than just like, oh, I want to watch the Hunger Games. Like, the nostalgia and the, like, depth that this series has in my mind. I'm so hungry, so I'm gonna get a little bit more food, and I'm gonna shower, I think, before I watch the next one. 2 hours. I have to now. I think if I could get like a little message in here. I got this kind of from a book. So the book discusses what the purpose of fandom is in our society. Like, you get a job to make money. You work out because you want to live healthily. But why do we become obsessed with things? Why do we like stare at photos of celebrities? Why do we rewatch TV shows? And it's the fact that there are so few things in life that you do that are for no other purpose than for strict pleasure. Like, even this, you could argue, is not fully pleasure, because I'm picking up this camera and recording and talking about this but like, if you watch something and you can just like purely enjoy it, kind of astonished by this. I'm sorry, Mahershala Ali was in these movies? Is this a joke, Mahershala Ali? Mahershala, what are you doing in the Hunger Games? How did I not know? Hi friends. I really should change up the location. It's 11:12 p.m. I finished Mockingjay Part 1 this evening. I'm struggling to stay up until a little past midnight to pick my fiance up from the airport. So I have saved this film, my motivation. I'm this close to getting a cup of coffee, and I think I'm gonna do it. I will say Mockingjay Part 1 did not instill me with as much of the shock and remembrance factor. Like, the whole like propaganda videos that they're filming, I guess I didn't even think about it. Like, they've taken these two lovers and put them on either side of this rebellion, and they're just being used as pawns. Oh man. All right, let's start this. Mockingjay Part 2. We're about to finish on night 4 of Hunger Games rewatch. I also totally don't know why it's hitting me now. I'm in a scene 20 minutes in where Joanna is talking to Katniss. Rewatching these, I realize that Finnick and Annie are basically what the media tried to make Katniss and Peeta. Instead of letting people be free and be, you know, if their personalities are beloved, like, have that naturally, like, the Capitol's instinct is just to create something false and run with it. I don't know. I'm thinking about it now, about like the way that this movie plays out, and them getting married and having a son, and one of them ending up being a martyr for the cause, and like, I can't think about it because I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna sob whenever it happens. I'm gonna lose it. I don't know. Anyways, well, I'm done.
This is probably the jankiest possible method of recording my like final thoughts for this video, but as I'm genuinely editing it at 10 p.m. at night and trying to get this out because I've been clearly holding on to this video for a long time, I just kind of wanted to submit my thoughts. The Hunger Games are by no means perfect movies, but I think what's beautiful about them is how well they adapt the spirit of the book to create something that feels monumental. Like, when I hold this singular Hunger Games book, or when I hold this singular Hunger Games DVD, they're not exactly the same. They're not. I'll acknowledge that. But what's beautiful is that this and this combined, the addition of them together, creates this entire descriptive or audiovisual version of this world, of this universe, that matters to people, that carries real themes that are truly important, that are actually helpful in helping you see, for me at least, was helping me see movies and books with a more critical eye of like, there's a story here that can be of value, but there's also themes that can be individually of value. There's something so wonderful about getting to revisit something from your childhood. As I mentioned, there's a book I read recently at the time of filming this, but filming the video, not this clip. It's all about how fandom really affects people in a positive way because of how few things there are in life that are purely for selfish, good enjoyment and not something that has any sort of other extenuating purpose for the most part. And that fandom is kind of this just beautiful little bubble we create, especially as adults or especially as people growing into adulthood, that we kind of protect ourselves with. We kind of let that be our safe space, our happy place, our mental spot to go to when, you know, life is just being life. And sometimes life is lemonade, but a lot of times it's the lemons that kind of take you to the lemonade eventually. It's not just a movie. It's not just a crazed fandom online. It is also not just a book series. It is something that contains real value that I hope you enjoyed. I will see you all later this week with another video.